Hello, this is Dr. Grafton, and in this video we're going to be going over assignment 4.4, chapter 12, time series analysis and forecasting. Time series refers to a sequence of observations over a period of time. It could be hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annually, but it needs to be in regular intervals. And this pattern shows the historical evidence regarding how a variable has behaved in the past, and then we can use that to forecast the future based on the pattern of that we see in that time series data and appropriate forecasting that we can use. So in completion of this assignment, you should be able to apply regression function to forecast a time series. Uh, Time series is just another way of using regression analysis. So you'll recognize what we're doing here when we go to the spreadsheet. So basically, what we're looking at in this spreadsheet is a time series of the cost per unit for a small manufacturing firm's leading product over 8 years. And the president of the company is concerned about the continual increase in manufacturing costs. So we're going to use the time series data and a simple linear regression to forecast the cost for year 9. So in the spreadsheet that we download, you'll see that there's that time series is annually, and there's 8 years worth of data. Okay. So I'll go through the questions and I'll show you on the spreadsheet how we can do that. So we're going to do a time series plot and look at the pattern and explain this on that graphical data. Okay, you've done this before. We didn't call it a time series plot. We called it a scatter chart. Okay, so we'll use that same tool for that. We'll also, it'll show us the line slope formula, and that'll be the coefficients that we're going to be looking for here to decide what our intercepts are. We also are going to be looking for the mean standard error, or basically the average standard error for this time series. This is something, if we were to do the regression analysis, it'll give that to us. But I've already put it in the spreadsheet, so it's just a matter of you need to pick the right coefficient. And once you put that in there, it will complete that part of the spreadsheet for you. Then we need to compute compute an estimate of the cost per unit for year 9. And then you need to answer the question based on this simple linear regression, explain whether the president's concerns are warranted. So let's go ahead and look at the spreadsheet. So basically, you've seen something similar to this in a linear regression. We're just now using it for a time series. Okay. Uh, what I like to do, and I covered that earlier, year is going to be our X value, cost in units going to be our Y value, and then we've got the data below. Okay, so we're just going to go highlight this, go up to insert, go over here to scatter charts again, and there we go. Okay, I'm going to move this up here so we can see it. So we've got our years across the bottom. We've got our uh, dollar amount cost per unit going up on the vertical axis. So let's go ahead and highlight, uh, click on one of the dots, let's add a trend line. Now we're going to want the equation. For this particular problem, we're not going to look at the R squared. We just want to display the equation on the line. So go ahead and close the menu and then bring this equation down where you can see it. Okay, from this equation now, you can see what the two different coefficients are. You got the intercept and the year coefficient. Okay, we could do a regression thing. It'll show us the same thing, but for the purpose of this, we just need the value of the coefficient for the year. I believe the instructions said round it to 2 decimal places. So once you put that in here, it will automatically complete the calculations below. All right, and it'll show you the formulas are already embedded there. So it's just a matter of selecting the right coefficient. So you've got 2 to select from. Okay. So then the next one then is to estimate the cost for the following years using the formula. So basically, for year 9, the forecast costs, right? Would be basically using this formula, or Y would be what we're looking for, which would be our forecasted cost, which would be up here on the vertical axis. Okay. So we want to do the intercept coefficient, which is 19.993. We'll add that to the year coefficient, which is here, times 9. So we're putting 9 is for the value of X. All right. Once you've made that calculation, then you should be able to put your answer in there. So this is a pretty straightforward. It's not as complex. We're not going to go into, doing the regression formula. We're just going to be able to come up with an answer for our president of the company, telling him whether costs are going to increase, decrease, or stay the same. Okay. Hope this helps. Thank you very much.